witches, welcome back. Today we're going to go over my August reading wrap up, all the books I've read and DNF'd, my stats, and a couple of updates to my channel that's coming. Let's jump in. Let's start with my August stats. I read 10 books. I DNF'd 4. I had an average of 345 pages per book. My physical TBR is up to 75.59%, which means we're slowly making progress towards increasing my percent of physical TBR read. My average star was 3.1. Some of that is because of the soft DNF vlog. I'll give an update on that shortly. Overall, less than stellar month. Some hits, quite a few misses, and progress on this never-ending reading TBR. Here are the books I got through this month. Next Heaven by James Frey is a fiction about the very messy lives of rich people with their cheating and betrayal. This was a letdown with the synopsis discussing a swingers party. I thought that would have been a bigger part of the story. However, it's a super tiny portion of it. And it felt more like the author was trying to give the readers a reason why it was okay for everybody to cheat instead of just they're all terrible people who cheat. Overall, this is definitely more of a tell than show type of story. It was pretty anticlimactic and a letdown. Next, we have Along Came Amor by Alexis Daria. This is the third and I believe final in the Primas of Power romance series. Ava Rodriguez, she's a teacher. She's recently divorced. She's trying to kind of get out of her shell and falls for this hotelier. Alexis Daria does a great, solid romance. There's still a story, a plot behind all of them, but with the perfect sprinkle of smut to the story. Her character development is also well done. I love the sprinkle of the other characters that you met throughout the series. And the way she ended this book is actually a perfect wrap up to the entire series and was so well. Sleep Tight by J.H. Markert is a horror. There was a serial killer named Father Silence who was put to death, and now the people who were working on his case are coming up murdered. The original sole survivor of Father Silence is hospitalized in a hospital for the criminally insane. So there's questions there. This is definitely a me thing, but I thought there would be like a supernatural element to it, or the writer would write in that you could suspect that there was a supernatural element to it. That was not a thing in this, which did disappoint me a little bit. Again, that's a me thing. Overall, it was intriguing and well-executed horror novel. There was good suspense and definitely kept the reader on their toes. The sequel by Jean Hanff Korelitz is the sequel to the book The Plot, which I really enjoyed. This is following the wife, Anna Williams Bonner, of the main character of The Plot, Jacob Finch Bonner. This one follows Anna as she's writing a fictionalized story following her kind of experience with her husband. She has a lot of her own secrets that are coming out. She's trying to keep hidden. I enjoyed this book, but I definitely would have enjoyed it more if I had read it right after the plot, because there's a lot of little details and tie-ins to the plot that are kind of vital to the story, and occasionally I'd have to kind of go refresh myself. I like, again, the kind of style with the book within a book type of style that was in the plot. It followed through with the sequel without feeling redundant or just copy and paste of the plot. There were definitely lots of twists, and I just couldn't get enough. The next two are the first two books in the Bookshops and Bonedust Legends and Lattes series by Travis Baldree. This is following the character as she's opening a coffee shop in one, and also her backstory of how she got to the point of owning a coffee shop in the Bookshops and Bonedust. In both of these, the portion I loved the most was following the day-to-day task of running either the coffee shop or the bookshop. I definitely love the cozy vibes that these stories give off. I never really got into the whole fighting type scenes and storyline. Overall, they're good books, great low stakes, cozy fantasy vibes. I think I was let down because it mostly just didn't live up to the hype that I had heard, but still good. Leech by Hirron Ennes. This is a horror with so many twists and layers. This doctor is going to a secluded chateau to help. They find a bacteria. Honestly, I still feel so confused by this story. I get it, and it's hard to explain, but it keeps you on your toes the entire time. It is written to be very confusing. It leaves a reader in the dark most of the time during the story. Overall, it's a very well written and executed story with many layers. It's not typically a style for me that I like, which is kind of originally why it was something that I soft DNF'd and also not one of my favorites, even though it was a well done book. Devil House by John Darnielle. This is a horror written with a true crime style of writing. This true crime author moves into this place called the Devil House to write about the murders that occurred there many years ago. I think for a reader to like this, you definitely have to be a fan of the true crime style of writing. Honestly, it was written so well in the true crime style of writing that I almost kept forgetting that it wasn't actually a real story. I did enjoy the way the main character does talk about kind of his research style and the way he does things. I think that this was a very intriguing book. Again, I was just struggling to get into that true crime side with it also being fictional, which is why it landed lower for me, but I do think was still well written. I'll Never Tell by Catherine McKenzie. This is following a set of siblings as they are going back to the summer camp that their parents owned because both of their parents have recently passed away. And there was previously a girl named Amanda where something very tragic happened, and one of the siblings was actually suspected but never accused. Now all their family secrets, lies, everything is coming out, and they have to kind of figure out what the hell is going on. This is a solid classic mystery book with twists and turns. I enjoyed the multiple timelines of the story. Occasionally, because there's so many siblings and different point of views, it became a little bit overwhelming, but not too negatively. I think the number of siblings added to the story and explained a lot of the questions and confusions and secrets that these siblings could be keeping between each other and from each other. I think it makes sense why the author chose that many siblings and that many point of views. Fight Club by Chuck Palahniuk. This was actually a recommendation on Spill the Read. She had listed that she read it and kind of why and her thoughts on it. I thought they were super intriguing. She will be linked down below. This is following this like nameless character as he's trying to like find control of his life. This is definitely a book that I would have never thought to read this book. I've never watched the movie. However, her description just really intrigued me. And I'm happy to say that I've read it. I loved the absolute chaos in this book in such a weird way. I really enjoyed the writing style where you're living this story through the main character, but at the same time, you really know nothing about him. I am proud that I got the twist. But that could be because I knew there was a giant twist. I was looking for a twist. I was looking for a very off-the-wall twist. I did end up watching the movie. It follows very closely the vibes and storyline of Fight Club, and definitely glad that I read. A couple quick updates before I go. I had planned to do a 25 and 2025 part 5. However, half the audio is for some reason missing, and since it's a vlog, I can't easily go back and replicate it. So we're going to scrap it. Also, the same with my soft DNF vlog. There were quite a few flaws in my theory of that. It just wasn't working. Possibly if I had chosen not to read a chunk of books that I had previously not enjoyed and put down, maybe I could have gotten through some more by reading one and then coming back, reading other books and coming back to others over a longer span of time. However, I tried to read them all back to back and it was awful. That is how I ended up DNFing 3 out of the 5 books from the soft DNF, and I also DNF the making of another major motion picture by Tom Hanks. I thought it was going to be more of a memoir on Tom Hanks's kind of movie history. It's not. It's more of a historical fiction on movie making, and I just wasn't interested in it. So I put it down. I do have a new format and branding that will be coming in the next few days. I'm so excited to be sharing what's coming. Hint, I will be mixing in more of my loves of reading and running together, more weekly vlogs with other fun videos. I hope you will enjoy the new content that is coming, the new branding. You will either join or stick around. Thank you, witches, for watching my August wrap. Tell me in the comment what was your favorite reads this month, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on my new channel trailer coming out along with my first weekly vlog.